Gethsemane. Gethsemane. The greatest battle of all time to save humanity was fought in the Garden of Gethsemane, and it was in prayer. Listen, eternal decisions can only be made in prayer. Nothing can be settled until prayer settles it. The moment when Christ went into the garden to pray and to seek the face of his Father, to change the destiny of man from a place of nothing to the place of something, for us to take back dominion into our hands, for man to enter the throne room of God with all grace and with all power. Gethsemane. Listen, prayer is not a guarantee that God will grant every wish of yours. Yes, that's true. Prayer is under the will of God. And in the Garden of Gethsemane, Christ knelt and prayed for hours, submitting his will to that of the Father. And yes, truly, the Father's will was done. The Father answered his prayer. But I want to ask you this day, that is every single prayer you are praying being submitted to the Father? Are you submitting your prayers to the will of the Father? Gethsemane. In the Garden of Gethsemane, Christ prayed. He prayed reminding the Father that he was the God of the impossible. Under such duress, such severe duress, where his sweat became like droplets of blood. Have you ever prayed like that? But our Christ prayed like that. That the heavy burden that he was about to carry on himself for man will go through gracefully. He prayed and prayed, not just once, but 3 times. And yes, God did answer his prayer. He answered it. He did not spare Christ. He sacrificed Christ as the Passover lamb who will save our sins once and for all. And through him we will receive grace. And through him we will receive grace and become new. Dying with him, resurrecting with him. Dying to our sins, resurrecting as a new man. That we will be one with the Father as Christ is one with the Father. And in the garden, yes, in the garden, the battle was won. The battle that was fought on the cross. Whereas we think that on the cross was where he won the battle. No, the battle was first won in the Garden of Gethsemane. Why? Because as I said, eternal decisions can only be made in prayer. And nothing can settle it unless prayer settles it. Nothing can settle it unless prayer settles it. And on the cross, he shouted, "It is finished." Tetelestai. What he said was finished was first finished in the garden. Because in the garden, he decided to sacrifice himself to his Father. To sacrifice himself to his Father. So Christ gave his soul in Gethsemane, but on the cross, he gave his flesh or his body. So we are able to submit our flesh to death as Christ did on the cross. And our soul to God the Father. There are so many things we will suffer, and there are so many things we will cry for, but might not receive them. In Gethsemane, the battle was won. In Gethsemane, as Christ prayed and sought for strength from the Father, an angel was sent to him to strengthen him even as he prayed. But on the cross, no angel was sent. It was just his mother and his brother John, the one whom he loved, who stood at the foot of the cross with many other women and many other people standing there, including the soldiers. But in the garden where the battle was truly won and fought, an angel was sent to strengthen him. By this, Christ shows us that all battles are supposed to be won and fought in prayer. And it is in prayer that we have dominance. It is in prayer that we win. It is in prayer that we receive strength to fight whatever challenge lies ahead of us, or it's in our whatever challenge is in our lives. The battle of all time and eternity was fought in the Garden of Gethsemane, in the place of prayer. Find yourself in the place of prayer today, and your battles can be won and can be fought. God bless you.